Are you overwhelmed with the unread emails in your email inbox? Well, in this video, I'm going to show you how I get to inbox 0 on a regular basis using the stack method. There are a few settings I have turned on. One is the reply and archive. So if I receive an email, such as this one, I can click reply. And at the bottom of my message, I will have two buttons, send and send an archive. So if I just click send, the message will sit here in my inbox. But if I'm not waiting for a reply, I can click send and archive, and it will be archived. Another one is the stars. So you can select what colors you want the stars, and there are also symbols. You can also change it at the top of the message in this corner. And then the other one is conversation view. So in my when folder, I have insurance information or help. So when I was working on getting health insurance, I had conversations going back and forth. You can see there are 4 conversations in this email or email chain. So it's going back and forth. So that keeps all those emails going back and forth together as a conversation. So to turn these on, you go to the top right hand corner in the settings, select see all settings. Here at send an archive, you can show send an archive button in reply. Then here is the conversation view. Turn the conversation view on. Here are the stars. So these are drag and drop, and you can select which order you want them in. And also, if you're interested in keyboard shortcuts, you can learn more here and turn your shortcuts on. When you're finished, go to the bottom and click Save Changes. Next, let's look at labels. So the stack method talks about folders. In Gmail, the folders are called labels. So just know that I'm talking about the same thing. If you look at the left side of my Gmail in the menu, the top labels are default labels, and the colored ones I have created myself. And below here, when you click on more, there are the labels that have been turned off or hidden, and then other ones that I have created and hidden as well. So the stack method uses action folders, active folders, and archive. In the stack method, the action folders are reply, do for anything 15 minutes or more, meet for anything that goes on the calendar, forward any messages you want to send to other people, and review for those messages you want to take more time to read, listen to, or watch. So I have chosen to use reply. I don't use forward because when I'm in the inbox, I just click forward and send it off. If it's going to be longer than a couple seconds, then I'll put it in the reply label. Schedule for anything that goes on my calendar. Reviewing for anything waiting for anything that I'm waiting to hear back from. Do for any longer than, the 2-minute rule. I'll put in to the do file. And then review for anything that I'd like to either read, listen to, or watch. My active folders are in the when file. And if you click on the little arrow, so some files or labels that I use are like doing the budget, looking for health insurance, job searching, or going on vacation. So those plans and airplane tickets. And then my 7th one is for the archives, anything I want to reference in the future. So let's look at the labels. So here on the labels tab in the settings, I have hidden my snoozed, chats, and scheduled labels. These are the categories that Gmail uses if you use the tabs in your Gmail. And then down below is where you can create a label, and you can show or hide it. And also, if you click on the more in your menu on the left at the bottom, there's also the create new menu, create new label. I'm going to create a new label. I'm going to name it 0 and forward. So if I wanted to use a forward label, and if you want to, like I did in the when category, I can click this and put it under my when file, but I'm just going to leave that as is and create it. So it will show up in my menu at the top. And to create a color, you just click on the 3 dots and label color and select your color. If you'd like to change the name, click the 3 dots and select edit. There, it changes the color. And then here you can change the name. To delete a label, so remember you can hide it in the labels under settings, or if you click the 3 dots you can hide it here, or you can remove the label. Removing the label does not get rid of the emails under that label, they're just sitting in the archives. If you have hundreds or even thousands of unread emails and you just want to start with a clean slate, you can go ahead and archive those emails by typing in this into the search bar. So you can select a date. I suggest 2 to 3 months behind. So if this is March, we could put, January 1st of 2022. So inbox before and the date. And if you search for those emails, I won't have any because I've cleaned them out, but you can select the little box here to select all the emails, and I'll show you in the inbox here. So if you select here and you select all those emails that are more than 2 or 3 months old, you'll also have an option to select all that fills that category. Otherwise, you're just selecting how many is on that page. And you can go ahead and move them to an archive tab. So you can create a new tab, say archived emails as of and the date. So that's one way to start from scratch. And then you can just work on cleaning out your last couple of months of emails. Now you're ready to work the stack method. So you're going to want to do 2 steps, or possibly 3. So first, set a timer. Usually for an hour. If you don't have an hour, whatever amount of time you have. Then the first step is to categorize your emails into the respective labels or folders. And then you're going to work in the folders for that amount of time. So these are all unread messages. The first thing I actually do is go to my spam folder and clean that out. So here is the spam folder. I'm going to select all on this page, and you'll notice that there's 50 on this page, but there's 95 total. So I'm going to select all 95 conversations in my spam folder and then delete forever. And confirm. Okay. There we go. Next, go back to the inbox. So I'm going to go through each email and decide how I want to put them into the respective folder. So Cigna is our health insurance. So I just want to double check the message. So I'm going to move that into due. Buckrail is an online newspaper that we have, and there was an event here that I wanted to put on the calendar. Oh, right at the top, this one. So I'm going to move that to the schedule. This next one is Digital Skills Library, and I wanted to look into that more, but it's going to take a bit longer than 5 minutes to look at, so I'm going to put that into the review folder. Next is the EdTech Center news. This is something I'd like to take a little more time to read about, so I'm going to move that to review. Then there's Devlin Peck's email. I wanted to add some of these into my calendar, so I'm going to move that to schedule. Next, this is an online event, so I'm going to add that to my schedule. Amazon Pharmacy, I can just archive that. So Busuu is a language learning app. So I saw in this email they're giving 3 months free premium membership to Ukrainians. And I have a friend in town, her parents came from the Ukraine a week before the war started. So I wanted to send her this information. Since I don't have a forward label, I'm just going to put this in my reply label just because it takes a few more minutes than scanning through these right now. Next is M.I. Gardner. So this email, he has a couple of videos that I wanted to watch a little later, so I'm going to move these into review. This email has a little video on using Alexa. We have Alexa, and I only use it to play music, so maybe I'll learn something. So I'm going to put that into review to watch later. Next is our farmer's insurance. I just wanted to double check that I have this amount in our budget, so I'm going to put that into our due folder. This is an email I may want to read a little bit, so I'm going to put that into review. This last email has to do with taxes. If it was, say, January, and I wanted to reference it when I do my taxes, I would want to move it to my when files. So if I look under when, I don't have any that have to do with taxes. But if I type taxes, I do have my receipts in a tax file there. But I wanted to create a new label so for when I do taxes. And I'll go to create new, nest the label under when, and then create. So then I have inbox 0 for this first step. Now that I've put all my emails into the designated labels, I work in the labels or folders. So using the stack method, they suggest selecting the emails that you're going to do within this folder name and then archive those emails. So there's only 2. I was going to forward this one to my friend and reply to this question. When I'm finished with the email, I'll go ahead and click the X to take it out of the label. And then I go to my next one, schedule. Select the emails that I'm going to put on my schedule, which are all of them. And then after I put them in my schedule, I'll click the X to take it out of the folder or label. The third one is waiting for, so I just want to check to make sure that if I have received what I'm waiting for or not. And then in the do folder, it usually takes the most amount of time, but just stick to that time limit that you've set. Review, I don't typically get to on a daily basis. So those are the messages to read, the emails to read, listen to if it's a podcast, or watch if it's a video. So if I'm relaxing in one evening, I can go through that file. And then remember, when is during specific times. So when those times come up, then I'll go into those folders. After I finish my 1 hour of working in my folders, I'm free to work in the inbox as messages come in. There may be a particular time, like after lunch or at the end of the day, that you may want to spend like 30 minutes just to clean it out, but otherwise you would start the process over the next day. Let me know in the comments below if you think this method would be helpful for you to implement, or if you use a different method. If you found this video helpful, please click subscribe down below to get notifications of future videos.